Hey guys, I'm SDN Wolf. Welcome back to the channel. It's time to pick your brains a little bit. And yeah, it's time for some DLC speculation. We know that Frontier Unlocked is coming next week. I'm just going to go out on a limb, and I'm feeling like it's going to be a very, very muted presence from Planet Coaster 2. I wouldn't be surprised if anything is not announced. Definitely don't want to get your all's hopes up. I'm not getting my own hopes up. I really think that the Frontier Unlocked with respect to Planet Coaster 2 in July probably going to take a really just little blip on the radar back seat. But who knows? I mean, they could come out swinging and could totally just floor all of us. But I would think probably the meat of what we want is going to be in August. I really think, like, as far as listening to Adam and Rich and the last Frontier Unlocked, kind of going back and looking over it a little bit, I think July is just going to be a real break for them. Expect a lot of Jurassic World Evolution 3. Probably will take over most of that show. Maybe a sprinkle of Planet Zoo, sprinkle for the poor little Elite Dangerous guys. But yeah, I do not think that Planet Coaster 2 is going to feature much next week. But regardless of that, we know that new stuff is coming, and that is what we're here to talk about. And I was just thinking, like, you know, yes, we've got the generic themes back. You know, a lot of people were worried, like, man, now that we've got Fairy Tale, they're not going to do Fairy Tale. Now that we've got Pirate, they're not going to do anything Pirate. And I don't think that's necessarily the case. I think that it's probably going to be a little more niche. Like, take for instance what I'm thinking of, like an adventure pack. I think in terms of adventure pack, you might be able to, like, what if they spun it as like an ancient Egypt Odyssey pack, you know, with different types of pyramid and, you know, maybe some like Nile River inspired attractions, maybe a new Tomb Explorer dark ride with trap effects and falling boulders. And we know now how ham they can go with this animation and the tools that they're coming up with and they're giving us, and Tegid 3D and all the stuff that he's coming up with. I think that an ancient Egypt pack to kind of be the pseudo adventure pack could be wild. A flume ride, maybe styled as, you know, Nile River Journey, sandstone temples, hieroglyph covered walls, obelisk, animatronic mummies, pharaohs, all kinds of stuff like that. I think could tie in to that adventure theme really well. Water element side of stuff, like I mentioned, a Nile lazy river maybe. With, you know, they could bring back crocodile animatronics, all kinds of different foliage that could come with that. Maybe make it to where you could do like a modular pyramid or something, or, you know, something. I just think that there's the ancient Egypt route opens up thematically a lot of what we loved about the adventure. You know, that adventure pack. That was, remember, it was a paid DLC, so definitely I could just see that kind of spin. I think we just kind of have to prepare ourselves to move away from the generic adventure pack or studios pack. I think it's going to be a little more niche. As a lot of you guys are asking me about ride packs, I don't think that comes next. I think whatever comes next is undoubtedly going to have a theme with it. I don't think after kind of all of this time in that first DLC being a little ride pack, I think whatever this is, it is going to be a full-on, you know, 400 plus piece scenery set mixed in with some new rides. Another theme that we've kind of hit on, even just with us playing around in Wilderness Springs, I don't think we can write off the steampunk / industrial theme, you know, like a Victorian inspired steampunk DLC with, of course, gears, brass, retro futuristic things, contraptions, as far as rides, maybe maybe like we're doing on here, maybe a steam powered airship. You could do some kind of flat ride with the airship that rises and spins. You could do some kind of coaster, maybe with a a more steam locomotive inspired train. And you know, with scenery, you know, you've got your giant cogs, you've got your copper pipes they could add in, airship docks, maybe glowing gas lamp, like, you know, little fixtures. I don't even know what you would call them, but you know, something like that. As far as your water elements go, I think you could go crazy with that. Steampunk themed water slides with maybe gear-shaped supports, maybe a boiler room style splash pad. I think with the steampunk industrial side of things, I think that could also open up the door for customization, as far as maybe they could give us tools to design custom animatronic machines. You know, that's what I think the next really cool step could be. You know, we can kind of put together pieces that they kind of animate for us, but I think that would be pretty cool if we had some kind of customization tool that we could tell, you know, we could put together other things that could, you know, be like a custom animatronic machine or something like that, which a lot of these guys, like I said, Tejid and, you know, the really, really creative folks out there are coming up with insane animation designs. So I don't really know, you know, they're coming up with a lot of cool things. The fantasy realm, like I said, I don't really know how they could spin that. I would love to see a Planet Coaster 2 maybe take on, you know, like maybe more mature dragons. Maybe like they could lean into the fairy tale realm with How to Train Your Dragon DLC type thing, you know, a dragon flight coaster with winged train designs. Maybe bring back some kind of enchanted carousel with like mythical creature mounts. And of course, they've given us, you know, bringing that fairy tale set back. We have a lot of the fairy tale castle pieces, but you could argue we could definitely have more props, like maybe some glowing mushroom props, maybe some animatronic wizards or fairies, you know, water elements. Maybe you could lean into maybe mermaids more, like a mermaid lagoon, lazy river with like some sparkling effects. I don't know, but I think it would be cool to have, you know, with the fantasy fairy tale realm, you could even add in more actual wandering mascots, like our night mascot, but actually have him walk around and not kind of just be a fixed place animatronic. And of course, you know, emphasis on the appeal of building Disneyland inspired fantasy lands. I would really like to see a Planet Coaster 2 take on a fantasy fairy tale spin and not just look at it as, you know, we've given them that Planet Coaster 1 fantasy theme. That's good enough for that. You know, anything else would be overkill. I'd argue not if they would, like I said, take the dragon spin. You know, I just don't want the fantasy theme to be written off as we've already gave them that, even though it was a rehash from the original Planet Coaster. I think a lot of you guys, I see it in the comments a lot. I know you guys would love a carnival extravaganza type DLC, like think vibrant carnival themed DLC with bright lights, midway games, classic fairground vibes. You all know. I just think that would be a very, very popular pick. Give us more string lights. Maybe even figure out something. Maybe we could do modular midway game stalls. You know, ring toss, balloon pop, work something out like that. As far as water elements go, this is more kind of on the theme park side of things, but maybe give us like a dunk tank. And maybe, you know, of course, you guys know I want bumper boats. Give us a water-based bumper boat attraction. And as far as, I'm trying to hit 3 points on all these, just kind of looking at some of my notes I jotted down for this. As far as the carnival goes, as far as customization goes, I was thinking like, what if we had a tool to design like maybe more custom carnival signs with maybe neon text. And then of course you could have your programmable light shows. I just think that a carnival theme would add a bit of nostalgic touch. I think it could, it could work its way, like almost complement a vintage ride pack down the road, but also trying to find ways, like we always say, to expand on that interactive guest experience that we all would like to see more of. I just think a Carnival DLC could bring liveliness and just that colorful energy to the park, with the potential for mini games, anything like that could enhance the gameplay. Like even what if like the scenario, like what if I'm not a big scenario guy, but what if you had like a traveling carnival scenarios where players build a pop-up fairground with some kind of water attraction, stuff like that. So what did we hit on? I hit on ancient Egypt, steampunk, fantasy realm-ish, 2.0, carnival. Of course, you guys know that horror, spooky is right up my alley. Really, really interested to see, because it's coming, it's inevitably coming, but really interested to see how Planet Coaster 2 handles the spooky pack. Does that come with maybe more VFX options? What kind of scenery does it come with? What kind of new ride vehicles does it possibly come with? Do we get like a more proper Doom buggy? You got that coming with the fall, I would believe. And then of course, Christmas, like a cozy winter themed DLC. Of course, think, snowy villages, holiday lights, just anything perfect for that Christmas, winter wonderland vibes that a lot of people go for. Of course, bring back the bobsled coasters, with icy tracks, maybe a winter sleigh flat ride with customizable sleigh designs. Your scenery, I think chalets, like a snow-covered chalet, twinkling string lights. I think that could be very cool. Ice sculptures, maybe make it to where we could build modular fire pits to keep the guests warm. Your water elements, I just have a giant question mark. I put down maybe a heated hot springs pool with steam effect. Maybe water slide styled as like an icy tunnel. I was just I literally jotted down Blizzard Beach with a question mark. Maybe, to add to the water park side of things, if you wanted to design like a snow fantasy type of water park. We definitely have an excellent real world example. I know Typhoon Lagoon is arguably the more popular Disney water park, but a lot of people sleep on Blizzard Beach, incredibly themed water park. I just think, winter theme, I think, believe it or not, it could add a nice variety to the water-based theme, with what we were talking about. And then, of course, I think that they have to capitalize on Planet Zoo's successful snow mechanic. The community discusses that. You all discuss that a lot as far as, suggesting seasonal themes and getting this weather more proper, and particularly getting us that snow. So anyways, guys, that's my thoughts. I just wanted to jump in and I just kind of wanted to really pick your brain. What are some things that I'm not thinking of that, are obviously sitting out there for you, and you're thinking, yeah, dude, we need this. Like, I hope this comes as a theme. Like I said, I think the days of quote unquote adventure pack, studios pack, spooky pack, I think those days are numbered. And you can look at the packs we have right now: Viking, aquatic, mythological. I think you need to be thinking more specific, a little more niche on these packs. So a lot of people could argue that's a good thing, that's a bad thing. You know, I guess whatever side of the coin you fall on, but that's why we're here. Let me know what you think. And yeah, I will try to get back to your comments. So yeah, appreciate you guys coming by and hanging out with me on this DLC speculation video. And I will catch you in the next one. Thank you guys. See you.